Hey, what's going on? This is Muriel from the Sunshine Family. Problems in Costa Rica from a Costa Rica expat point of view. I'm going to touch on a major problem that we're currently experiencing and that you might be experiencing if you're thinking about living in Costa Rica, moving to Costa Rica, but also if you're just going to visit Costa Rica, you may be experiencing this major problem. If you're new to this channel, I firstly want to warm welcome you to learn more about why I'm making these videos or what am I doing here, learn more about me here. Now here you think, Muriel, tell me what it is. What's the Costa Rica problem you are experiencing right now? Well, first of all, it's not a new problem. It has been existing for a longer time, but we see it grow. And it is, so there probably are more Costa Rica problems, but I'm covering a major one. That's water problems. So what's my point of view? Well, I'm a Costa Rica expat like you heard before since 2018, and I moved to the Nicoya Peninsula that is basically situated in the area of Santa Teresa, Montezuma, Cabuya. That's a very specific area. It's one of the hottest areas of Costa Rica. It is very liked for surfers and for tourists, and it's not a right fit for everyone. It's very hot. It's a very extreme climate. It's more remote than other areas. It's, for example, very far from the best private and local hospitals. It takes some effort to get here, to get back and forth from airports, from San Jose to San Jose. And, it's not a right fit for everyone. But it's beautiful, and those who love to live here, like myself, we see more and more expats coming to Costa Rica. Like we came here once. Everyone is leaving their footprint, right? We already learned that water is the gold of Costa Rica. But really recently have no water coming from our tap and having a totally dry well, why it has been raining quite heavily, that's quite new. First of all, there is two types of water that you can get. Municipality water that's coming from the tap and the government is providing that, and well water. We have both. Then you dig a well, probably have your own property, and you dig a well to get water that's coming from the groundwater. Now in areas where areas that are expanding pretty fast, like the Santa Teresa area where I'm living, you see that there are many new people starting to live in areas, and they're building houses, they're building pools. The infrastructure has been not the best of the world anyways, but the water is limited. So in the circle around the place where we're living, there are like hundreds of new houses built over the past 3 years. It has been expanding so fast that it actually is scaring us, including seeing very big water tanks at the side of the road that contains thousands, tens of thousands of liters of water. And that water has to come from somewhere, right? Often they tap from wells dug very deep. But the water is not limitless, right? So what we have been seeing is that our well, we literally checked yesterday, our well is completely dried until the bottom. And what do you have then? Of course you might say, well, then you take municipality water, right? Yes, we do have those two types of water. There's also people who choose just to have well water if they have like a very solid well. However, not every well is solid. Our well was so-so. It didn't bring us through the whole dry season. We just had to use municipality water for about 2 to 3 months per year. But more or less 9-10 months per year, free water, our own water. And if our well is dry, we tap from the municipality line. We pay monthly water bills for that. But guess what? That's not always working. I don't know why, but exactly how that all works. But I do know they don't have enough or pressure to serve all the houses with municipality water. They have pressure problems, or they literally have water problems, because that water needs to come from somewhere as well. So if you come from a country where the water is always streaming from your tap, like I am born and raised in the Netherlands. I recently was visiting the Netherlands 5 weeks. There's always coming water from the tap, right? Here, for example, yesterday I was making dinner. I was cutting raw tuna. My son was playing around. He was sticky. He wanted to shower. The dogs wanted water. I needed to do the dishes. And you just freaking need water. There's no water and you're not prepared not having water. You will be surprised. And you are like, what the heck, You have to buy water in the shop. It doesn't make sense. Probably for those not used to it. But it's very common here. But it's getting worse. So I see this. So while back in the days when we just moved here, 2018, we just sometimes experienced having no water coming from the tap because the municipality was cleaning the pipes or something like that. But now, sometimes they don't have enough water or not enough pressure to pump the water around. Now, just imagine what that will mean for you. So while still a lot of people are clueless about what it takes for the water line in the ground water level, if like 100 new houses decide to have pools and unlimited filling up the pools with groundwater or with water overall, it has an effect on the drinking water accessibility for all the people living in the specific area. And that's exactly what's happening right now. And honestly, I'm not scared. I'm always like solution finder, but it makes you more aware of choices. So think about, if you're thinking about moving to Costa Rica, being a Costa Rica expat like I am, Costa Rica problems are also related to things that you really, really cannot do without. Drinking water. So, or move somewhere and find a way to catch rainwater, or build some system that provides you water the whole year round. I'm not an engineering type of person. I do have a well, but when the well is dry, I'm like, if there's no municipality water there, I don't know something else than buying water. But I do know there's ways to catch rainwater and save that up in a fresh way and pump it around to have all year round water. But still, I think it's very good to realize that one of the Costa Rica problems you as new coming Costa Rica expat has to deal with is water problems, a lack of having water. And just realize, if it's dry season and there's no water coming from the tap or from your well, and you have just planted vegetation because you just bought a property, you have to water that. After 2, 3, 4 days of no watering, because a big piece of land, it's impossible to buy water in a shop and to water it with that. Your vegetation dies, and that could mean thousands of dollars of landscaping gone. And that happens. That truly happens. So it's not to scare you, but just more like creating awareness. Think about it. look into the location where you're going to live, and if you buy property, dive in what's the water situation in your area. I assure you, in the Delicious area, there has always, long-term already, even when I moved here 2018, a big water problem. That means, defined by households do not have water every day. It is the water is divided like that day these houses have water, that day these houses have water. Sometimes you just need to wash, need to clean, need to water your plants, need to live. Suppose you have a baby or whatever. You need water. You have to deal with this Costa Rica problem, according to water. Dive in where you're going to live, and also think of ahead of time how you're going to solve stuff. Never count on a water well or only the municipality water. Better to have both. But you see, we have both and still have no water today, because the municipality is doing something with the pipes or has no water. I don't know. I have to dive in some municipality groups to see what's going on. So this is an awareness video, not a complaining video. I love living in Costa Rica, and basically you will only love it here if you get used to the Pura Vida state of being. Like, if challenges like this occur, that you think, well, this will pass, this too shall pass, it will be okay, we find a solution. And don't freak out, because then Costa Rica will truly spit you out and you won't like it being a Costa Rica expat. So this is not just an expat problem, of course. Also locals, like the local restaurants in my neighborhood, won't have water when I won't have water. So I experienced that. Some have tanks, but I experienced recently that I was in a restaurant and I used the bathroom and I couldn't wash my hands because there was no water coming from the tap. I couldn't flush the toilet because there was no water. So we're in this together. I hope somehow you benefit from this video. Let me know anyways your thoughts, your questions, just some things you want to share, and keep your eyes on my channel for new content. And I'm excited to inspire you with everything I've learned myself. I'm not the expert. I just share everything I've learned myself to show you how I've done things. And thanks so much for your subscription and for your thumbs ups and your likes and your shares. Stay tuned. Bye for now.